If you're interested in astrology and planning your finances for 2026, this is a video you shouldn't miss. The year 2026 has something special. Jupiter, the planet that governs luck and expansion in astrology, will move through two important zodiac signs, Cancer and Leo. And what's interesting is that it will form harmonious angles with Uranus and Neptune at several points throughout the year. The astronomical map of 2026 is quite special, and there are 4 zodiac signs that will benefit the most from these movements in terms of finances. It's not that they'll win the lottery or anything like that, but rather that business opportunities, investments, and career advancement will open up more easily, and the ability to turn opportunities into real money will be significantly higher. In this video, I'll go into detail about each sign, explaining why they were chosen based on actual astronomy, when during the year is their peak time, and most importantly, what they should do to not miss this opportunity, because it only repeats after another 12 years. Before we begin, please leave a comment letting me know what's your zodiac sign and where are you watching this video from. I'm really curious to know how widespread my community is and whether there are many people from different signs following along. Now let's get started. Before diving into each sign, I want to talk about the astronomical context of 2026, because if you understand the big picture, you'll know how to take advantage of this luck more effectively. First thing you need to know, Jupiter will be in Cancer from January to June 2026. And this isn't just any ordinary position. Cancer is Jupiter's exalted sign, where it reaches maximum power. In astrology, when a planet is in its exalted position, it's like an athlete competing on home ground with the highest spirit. The last time Jupiter was in Cancer was from 2013 to 2014. If you think back to that period, you might recall some major opportunities that appeared in your life. Whether you took advantage of them or not is another story. But 2026 is even more special because starting in June, Jupiter will move into Leo, a powerful fire sign, where bold ideas, creativity, and leadership abilities are amplified. This is the first time since 2014 that Jupiter returns to Leo, and it will stay there until the end of 2026. There's another important detail. Jupiter will turn from retrograde, meaning moving backward, to direct, meaning moving forward, on March 11, 2026. In astrology, when a planet goes direct, it's like the road becoming clear again. Things that have been stagnant since late 2025 will start moving. This is the first green light of the year. And the final point, perhaps what makes 2026 truly special, the outer planets like Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are all in early positions in their signs. This creates a series of aspects, meaning angles, consecutively with Jupiter, especially around April to June 2026. When fast-moving planets like Mercury and Venus change signs, they will continuously form aspects with both Jupiter and the outer planets, creating a very complex multi-layer energy. To put it simply, 2026 doesn't just have one wave of luck, but multiple waves of energy overlapping each other. And the 4 signs I'm about to mention are exactly the ones standing at the right spot to receive that energy most fully. So who are these 4 signs? Let's find out.
The first position, and also the most obvious one, has to be Cancer. If you were born between June 21st and July 22nd, congratulations! You're in the golden circle of 2026. Why is Cancer so lucky? As I mentioned, Jupiter will be right in your sign from the beginning of the year until June 2026. And more importantly, this is the exalted sign where Jupiter reaches maximum power. In astrology, there's a saying, Jupiter in Cancer is like a king returning to his palace. Everything it does is amplified and constructive. But the interesting part doesn't stop there. In June 2026, when Jupiter prepares to leave Cancer, it will create a series of aspects with Uranus in sextile, Neptune in trine, and Pluto in quincunx. This is the period when unexpected opportunities, unexpected connections, and breakthrough ideas will be rushing in. If you're a Cancer, pay special attention to around mid-June. This could be the biggest turning point of your year. Regarding specific lucky periods, from January to March 2026, this is the foundation phase. Jupiter is at the early degrees of Cancer, and on March 11th, it will turn direct. This is when you should make plans, build strategies, and prepare your resources. Whatever you plant during this period will sprout very quickly. From April to June 2026, this is peak time. Jupiter moves through the middle of Cancer and starts forming aspects with the outer planets. This is when real opportunities appear. It could be a job offer, an investment opportunity, or a major project starting to generate profit. Pay special attention to around June 18th to 24th, when Jupiter forms aspects with both Neptune and Pluto simultaneously. This is when luck meets luck. Now, I have some advice for Cancer. You know, Cancer people are usually very cautious with money. You like security, you like to save, and you're often risk-averse. But in 2026, especially from April to June, the universe is encouraging you to expand your comfort zone. It's not about being recklessly impulsive, but daring to trust your intuition and daring to seize opportunities when they appear. Let me share a real story. I had a Cancer client in 2013 to 2014 when Jupiter was last in Cancer. She was invited to join a startup project. At that time, she had a stable job, good salary, and was very hesitant. But due to Jupiter's pressure and a little push from me, she decided to join. Now, that startup has succeeded, and she's the CFO with significant equity. 2026 could be a similar story for you. But remember, timing is key. Don't rush in January or February. Observe, listen, prepare, and when April to June comes, be ready to act. One more piece of advice. Investing in real estate, projects related to family and home, or fields involving care and nurturing will be especially favorable for Cancer this year. Jupiter in Cancer tends to bring luck in these areas. And one last thing, after June, when Jupiter moves into Leo, the energy will shift from House 1, meaning yourself, to House 2, meaning finances. This is when what you've done in the first 6 months of the year starts turning into real money. So don't be discouraged if you don't see results immediately. Be patient until the end of the year.
The second sign is Scorpio, born between October 23rd and November 21. If Cancer is the one receiving Jupiter directly, then Scorpio is the one benefiting from a perfect trine angle with Jupiter. And in astrology, a trine, meaning a 120-degree angle, is considered the luckiest and most harmonious aspect. It brings opportunities naturally, without too much struggle. Why is Scorpio special in 2026? Jupiter in Cancer will form a trine with Scorpio throughout the first 6 months of the year. But what makes Scorpio different is that this is the sign with the strongest transformational energy among all 12 zodiac signs. Scorpio doesn't like stagnation. They like to break down, rebuild, and be reborn. And 2026 is the year when this energy is amplified manifold. Here's something interesting. Pluto, the planet ruling Scorpio, is in Aquarius during 2026. And this Pluto will form a quincunx angle, meaning 150 degrees, with Jupiter in June. Quincunx is an adjustment aspect. It's not comfortable, but it forces you to change your way of thinking and doing. And with Scorpio, people who are already good at transformation, this is an opportunity to completely reinvent themselves. Regarding specific lucky periods, from January to March 2026, this is the purification phase. You'll feel like cleaning up, both materially and spiritually. You might want to cut off some business relationships that no longer fit, or abandon some projects that are dragging you down. Don't be afraid. This is a necessary process to create space for something new. From April to June 2026, this is the transformation phase. Scorpio will feel the change most clearly during this phase. Opportunities will come from unexpected sources. It could be an old friend contacting you with a proposal, insider information about an investment opportunity, or a sudden insight that makes you realize a different way to make money. Pay special attention to around June 24th when Jupiter forms a quincunx with Pluto. This could be a breaking point, but it could also be a tense moment. The key is don't try to cling to what's old. If something needs to change, let it go. Now I have some advice for Scorpio. Scorpio people are usually very secretive about money. You don't like sharing information, you like control, and you're very good at spotting opportunities others miss. In 2026, especially the first 6 months, is when you should trust your intuition more than ever. There's a saying in astrology, Scorpio is the detective of the zodiac. And in 2026, the universe is encouraging you to use this investigative ability to find hidden financial opportunities. This could be investing in niche fields that few people notice, participating in projects with renovation or restructuring nature, or working with other people's capital, like investment, finance, insurance. In 2026, especially after June, when Jupiter moves into Leo, you'll start seeing the fruits of your transformation process. Energy will shift from House 9, meaning expanding vision, to House 10, meaning career and status. This is when you start getting recognized for what you've done. One final piece of advice: don't burn bridges. Scorpio tends to be very decisive when cutting ties, but in 2026, some relationships you think are over might come back with new opportunities. Know how to end things gracefully.
The third sign is Pisces, born between approximately February 19th and March 20th. If Cancer receives Jupiter directly, Scorpio transforms powerfully. Then Pisces is the one who lets fortune flow most naturally. And in 2026, this flow will be especially strong. Jupiter in Cancer also forms a trine with Pisces, the same perfect 120-degree angle. But what makes Pisces special is Neptune, the planet ruling Pisces, is in Aries during 2026, and this Neptune will form a sextile angle, meaning 60 degrees, with Jupiter in June. In astrology, when your ruling planet forms a good aspect with Jupiter, it's like a double blessing. You not only receive luck from Jupiter, but also from your own patron planet. But there's something interesting with Pisces. Saturn is also in Aries during 2026, and in June, Saturn will form a conjunction, meaning it merges with Neptune. This is a very rare astronomical phenomenon. The last time it happened was in 1989. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction creates an energy of manifesting dreams. It forces you to turn vague ideas into concrete plans and turn plans into action. Regarding specific lucky periods, from January to March 2026, this is the dreaming and planning phase. Pisces usually has many ideas, but not every idea is feasible. During this period, you should filter ideas, keep what truly has potential, and let go of what's just fantasy. From April to June 2026, this is the manifestation period. Pay special attention to around mid-June when Jupiter, Neptune, and Saturn all form aspects together. This is when your ideas start becoming reality. It could be a creative project starting to have buyers, an investment you've been researching for a long time starting to generate profit, or a collaboration opportunity appearing.
From July to December 2026, after Jupiter moves into Leo, energy will shift from House 5, meaning creativity and passion, to House 6, meaning daily work and health for Pisces. This is when you need to integrate what you've started into your regular work routine. This is also when you might see income from your main job increase. Now I have some advice for Pisces. Pisces are usually people with very good intuition about trends. You know what's about to be hot before it actually becomes hot. But the problem with Pisces is you often lack the discipline to turn intuition into profit. In 2026, especially with the presence of Saturn conjunct Neptune, the universe is forcing you to be more disciplined. This isn't a year for dreaming, this is a year for doing. Some fields where Pisces can particularly succeed in 2026 include arts and creativity like music, film, design, healing and mental health care like coaching, therapy, yoga, technology with a humanitarian element like AI, VR, wellness applications, and spiritual fields along with personal development. An important piece of advice: Pisces finances in 2026 usually come from many small sources rather than one large source. Don't expect a huge sum from one place. Instead, you'll see many small income streams that add up to a significant amount.
And the final sign is Taurus, born roughly between April 20 and May 20. In 2026, Taurus benefits from a stable sextile with Jupiter during the first half of the year. And for Taurus, the sign with the strongest financial DNA in the zodiac, a sextile is more than enough to create major shifts. Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018 and will remain there until July 2025 when it moves into Gemini. However, in early 2026, Uranus is still in the final degrees of Taurus from January through April, and during this time it forms a sextile with Jupiter. Uranus is the planet of sudden change, technology, and innovation. While it has been in Taurus, the sign of money and values, it has radically transformed how we think about finances, cryptocurrency, fintech, NFTs, and more. In 2026, these changes begin to stabilize and start producing real, tangible profits. Secondly, Jupiter in Cancer forms a harmonious sextile with Taurus, a supportive 60-degree angle. In astrology, a sextile between an earth sign and a water sign, like Taurus and Cancer, creates productive energy, the kind that rewards consistent effort with concrete results. In terms of specific lucky phases, from January to April 2026 is a period of breakthroughs and adaptation. With Uranus still in Taurus, you may feel pressure to change how you earn money or manage money. You might become interested in a new field or realize that old methods no longer work. Don't resist this, embrace it. From April to June 2026, as Uranus fully leaves Taurus, the energy becomes lighter. This is when you start seeing results from the changes you've already made. Jupiter in Cancer continues to support Taurus, bringing stable and sustainable financial opportunities. From June to December 2026, when Jupiter moves into Leo, the focus shifts from your third house, communication and learning, to your fourth house, which governs home, family, and foundations. This is a favorable time for real estate investments or improving your living situation. You might buy a home, renovate, or invest in land-related projects. The past few years with Uranus in Taurus have not been easy. You were forced to change, adapt, and sometimes felt out of control. But in 2026, especially after April, when Uranus fully leaves, you'll begin to understand the purpose behind all those disruptions.
Some areas where Taurus can succeed in 2026 include real estate, buying, selling, investing, and development. Traditional finance combined with technology such as fintech, banking, and investments. Art and luxury goods like antiques, paintings, and jewelry, as well as high-tech agriculture and organic food. And one final note for Taurus: 2026 is a year to focus on passive income. Instead of only trading time for money, think about building income streams that continue to generate value, such as rental properties, dividend investments, or digital products that can be sold repeatedly. With Jupiter forming supportive aspects, this is an ideal time to build long-term financial foundations.
So, now we've gone through the 4 zodiac signs with the strongest financial luck in 2026: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and Taurus. But before we wrap up, I want to remind you of something important. Luck is an opportunity, not a guarantee. Jupiter may bring you a door, but you still have to be the one who opens it and walks through. I've seen too many people with incredible luck who never used it because they were too afraid, too doubtful, or too distracted by things that didn't really matter. And I've also seen people with no obvious luck at all still succeed, simply because they knew how to take advantage of even the smallest opportunities. Here are a few general pieces of advice for all 4 signs. First, timing is everything. Each sign has its own golden window. Pay close attention to the periods I mentioned, especially from April to June 2026, when Jupiter forms multiple powerful aspects at the same time. Second, don't be afraid of change. All 4 signs will face certain changes in 2026. These are not punishments, they are necessary steps to level up. Third, trust your intuition, but verify with logic. In 2026, intuition will be especially strong thanks to Neptune's influence, but don't let emotions take full control. Combine your intuition with research and clear analysis. What about the other signs? If you're not one of these 4, don't assume that 2026 has nothing good in store for you. Every zodiac sign has its own highlights and challenges. I'll make separate videos for the remaining signs because each one deserves a detailed breakdown. If you leave a comment saying yes along with your zodiac sign. And remember, astrology is not destiny, it's a map. It shows you which roads are smoother, but you're still the one driving the car. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss future content. In next week's video, I'll talk about the 3 zodiac signs facing the biggest financial challenges in 2026 and how to overcome them. Do you want to know if you're on that list? Thank you so much for watching. Wishing you a prosperous, abundant, and lucky 2026.